Good morning, all my Yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to Coffee and Crochet with Sara and my crochet family. Because you know what? I can't do this without all of you, or I would just be talking to myself, and I kind of do that anyway, but welcome everybody. I'm so glad all of you are here. Let's start out with our clink-in. I've got myself what they call an Arnold Palmer today, only sugar-free. I've got half tea, half lemonade, sugar-free, trying to get my water in. Sometimes I just get to the point where I just don't think I could drink another cup of just water. And so I try to do the sugar-free. It's just, you know, the packets that you put in. I do one tea and one lemonade. It's super good. I was actually wanting to drink cold coffee, but I have to go to the doctor today to check my blood pressure and my cholesterol and all that stuff, and I don't want my blood pressure high. I don't want him to change my meds anymore, okay? Clinkety, clink, clink, clink. My poor cup. I like this one for tea, but I put it through the washer so many times that the flowers are like wearing off of it. But I like this size. Okay. Lots to talk about today. Let's just jump right in and plunge in. So first of all, I just really want to thank all of you who have been asking about my little Rosie. She's not doing any better yet. Last Saturday night, I told you we were in the hospital with her at the doggy hospital all night Saturday night. She was doing a little bit better, had a little bit better week. And then this Sunday morning, it started all over again with the bloody potty. I don't want to go into all of that. And throwing up and just not feeling well. And I checked with my vet, and it said they were closed on Monday. And my husband accidentally called them because I wanted the phone number on my phone, so I was putting it on my phone. And he accidentally called them. And so then they called him back, and he said, "Oh, you are open." They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "We can get her in at 10:30. So yesterday morning, we took her back in at 10:30. And I just really love our vet. I'm just so blessed that we found such a wonderful vet. They're the ones when Maximo went across the Rainbow Bridge, worked with us on that, and were just so caring and kind, and even sent cards afterwards with Maximo's little paw prints on them and stuff, where they had taken his paw and inked it onto a card. Just so thoughtful. Anyway, they wanted me to leave her at 10:30, and she doesn't know she's a dog. She thinks she's a baby. I mean, she just doesn't. I mean, her and Max were so bonded, and she's okay with my daughter's dogs, and also my granddaughter. When she brings Clarabelle over, she's gotten used to her, but she's just, you know, she's a typical Chihuahua and takes her time. Anyway, so I was a little bit concerned with leaving her because they wanted her to stay so they could observe her, and then the doctor was going to do some tests. And they did some blood work and some urine analysis and all of that stuff. We'll get those results today. But I had to leave her for a couple hours. And then I called, you know, we're calling back at 2:30. She's like, just a few more minutes. Because it's just like 2 miles down the road. So finally, about 4:30, we went back up there and got her. And I'm telling you, she was mad at me. This little girl holds a grudge. And I was telling the doctor that when I picked her up. She goes, "I know." The tech had her, and I have to tell you, the tech that came in, they were so nice. They made me feel so at ease with leaving her. I mean, she says to me, "Oh, no, we're not going to put her in a cage or anything. I'll just keep her right with me. She's my baby for today, okay?" And that just made me feel so good. Anyway, she was giving me the old side eye. So they bring her out. She goes right over to my husband and kind of leans against his leg. And she looks around him and looks at me. And I'm like, "Hey, baby girl." And she goes, she gave me the side eye. I didn't care. I picked her up anyway. And they said she did real good. But when I was telling the doctor, because we've got a couple of medications, she was explaining them to us. When I was telling the doctor, I said, "She holds a grudge." She goes, "Oh, yeah. I went in to get her from the tech. She did not want to come with me. And then when I made her, she was giving me the side eye." I guess she's a typical teenager. I guess it has, you know. she's warmed back up to me now. She's forgiven me for leaving her there for a couple hours. But we don't know exactly what's going on with the bad diarrhea and the blood, and I hate saying that. And with what's going on with her, what's making her so sick. And so we'll find that out today. They did all the blood work and all of that stuff. But they gave her some medications to kind of calm her stomach. And one of them was real easy to give her. You have to twist this thing and then just squirt it into her mouth. And it smells like peanut butter, and she likes peanut butter. The other one, we have to cut the pill in half and squish it up and put it into her food. And then they had us put her on this special food for a couple of days. She likes the food. It smells like steak. I'm like, But I crushed that pill up last night and put it in her food, and she ate it okay, but she kept going like, bleh, bleh. This morning, I had to do this, because she has to take the pill 3 times a day and the other stuff twice a day. When I put it in her food this morning, I'm telling you, she ate around where I put the powder from that in there. And so they said we could still give her pumpkin, because we give her pumpkin for her glands. And so I put a tablespoon of pumpkin right on where I had to put that pill, and she only ate the top of the pumpkin because it's canned pumpkin. So anyway, a couple minutes ago, I saw her walk back in there, and she ate it. Now, I know we've tried a lot of different things, the pill packets and all that, but this dog is a pill ninja. Her tongue, I have given her pills in peanut butter before, and she licks everything. I've tried ham. I tried everything, the packets, everything. This girl can get the pill out of anything. And so we have to crush it. And I don't like holding her down and force feeding her. I want her to just take it, and I know she's a baby, and yeah, I treat her that way. It's okay. She's my baby girl. So, but as far as the effects of what's wrong with her, she's doing better. I can see in her eyes that she's feeling a little better. One of the things the doctor was concerned about is Rosie is a bigger Chihuahua. She's a standard. She usually weighs between 11 and 12 pounds. And when we weighed her at the doctor, she weighed 9.6, which is quite a bit of a weight loss for that small of a dog. Because if you think about it, if she weighs a solid 12 pounds and loses 3 pounds, think about how much you weigh and what the average of that would be. And I told her, I said, I felt like she was so much thinner. And my husband didn't think so, but I did. And I hate to say this, hubby, but, I was right. He knows I'm right a lot, so anyway. But anyway, yeah, I've tried the liver and everything. I mean, she is just a tongue ninja. So yeah, we just break it up. They had to be cut in half, and then I just crush them with the spoon into powder. I did one time try putting them in chicken broth, and that worked pretty good. But yep, we got it down to her this morning, and she's laying over here on her little poofy pillow, sound asleep. Anyway, she's just my precious girl. I just really appreciate how much y'all been, thinking about her and stuff. Because when we lost Maximo last fall, that was really hard. Because he was 16 and a half years. He'd been with us a really long time. Been with me through all of my cancer and my medicines and surgeries and, for 16 and a half years, our life, and he was my buddy. He chose me, and Rosie chose her daddy, my hubby. And, but she's still my girl, and having her, even though we lost him, helped us get over that a little bit. I miss him every day. I really do. Even his orneriness, I miss it. But, I'm not ready to let Rosie go yet, but if physically we need to, I will do it for her. But, if we can get her well, and it is expensive, but when you love your dogs, you just got to do what you got to do. Okay. All right. Let's move right along. Did we clinked in, right? Oh yeah. 'Cause I drank some tea. Okay. Now, I do want to give you a shout out. I found this young lady. The truth of the matter is I watched her videos last week. But I forgot about it. I didn't put it in my notes. And I was like, oh man, I wanted to tell you about this young lady. But so I'm telling you about her this week. I may have mentioned her a couple years ago. I can't remember, but her videos looked familiar, and I probably watched them, you know. But I really, really like this lady. Her name is Clarisabeth. Isn't that a pretty name, Clarisabeth? I think that's so pretty. Okay, the name of her YouTube channel is Crochet Cakes, and I put the link underneath this video so you can go and check her out. Subscribe, like, ring her bell, and mine. But this is what it says. She says, hi, I'm Clarisabeth. Welcome to my cozy craft corner. I like that. She says, my goal is to provide the perfect space for you to unwind, learn, and crochet. Kind of like what we do here, right? When I'm not crocheting or crafting, I can be found in a corner indulging in baked goods and tea. I like that too. I really liked her attitude in the way that she does her videos. I think you'll really enjoy her. She's right up our alley. Crochet cakes. Obviously, she likes sweets. That's where the cakes comes from. Although we like crochet cakes too. All right, so that's our shout out. Oh, I also have a couple of jokes for you. I forgot to tell you. I got to talking to Rosie. I could talk about my Rosie all day long. So this one was sent to me. I think someone named Ann sent it to me. I didn't write the last name. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this. Thank you, Ann. Anyway, I'm so sorry. This one says, at first, I wasn't sure about crocheting toys, but Amy grew on me. Isn't that cool? You know, because Amy grew me. I never say it right anyway. I have never been good learning languages. I haven't. And I think this is a Japanese word, right? Amy grew me. Anyway, Amy grew on me. I thought that was super cute. Okay, the other one I got, I just found this one. It says, why are crocheters so funny? I think we are, don't you? Where's all my laughy faces? Crocheters are super funny because they keep us in stitches. I know, super corny. I don't care. I love corny jokes. All right, where's my laughy faces? Come on. There's a few. Okay, oh, I wanted to answer a question. Someone was asking about what's all the crowns. Some of you have crowns that are purple, and I think there's some white ones. I had to look it up because it has to do with the top fan leaderboard. And I don't know if it has to do with how many times you comment or how many times you've watched the video or watch videos on my channel or how exactly that works. But it has to do with the number one fan, the number two fan, where you lay, when you're here watching the videos live. But it's called the Top Fans Leaderboard. It's new. Alrighty. So, all right. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about our yarn of the week. And I'm going to move this because it's in the way. The yarn of the week is actually the yarn that I made this with. Okay. This is our new pattern release. It's called the Summer Cotton Throw. And I really, really love it. Isn't that beautiful? I really love how it turned out. And it's such a simple, fun pattern. This is one of those take-along patterns. I'm going to come over here to my other camera here. Okay, and you can see it's just a basic one row repeat once you get it set up with this. It's actually a fillet stitch because you're doing open spaces. Now, if you've never done a fillet pattern, this is a great one to start with because it's just a one row repeat. The open spaces go throughout the whole blanket, and it makes a nice lightweight blanket. Oh man, great to take to the park, great to take on vacation, Great to take to the beach, to the pool, or just to have in the back of your car in case you get sunburned and just want to cover your shoulders a little bit. Okay, so the yarn that I used for this is called Cotton Sprouts. And some people always ask me, now, did you put the right amount of yarn on there? Because I did this different or I did that. And this is what was left from what I had put on the amounts on there. This is what I had left. Now, we did stripe it with 2 different colors. The Coral Reef is the variegated one, and then the other one is just aqua. Okay, so this is Cotton Sprouts. This is the multi one here. Medium weight number 4. Now, what I want to show you is that it's on sale right now. All the Cotton Sprout is on sale. It's 25% off. I'm going to grab my iPad here so I can show you. Okay. This is all the colors. Look at all those beautiful colors. Now, they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors in multi, and then there's 32 of the solids. But I'm going to show you the colors I used because I used up the whole thing that I bought. This is the Coral Reef. Isn't that pretty? And then I used the lighter aqua for these other striped sections. But where's that other color? There it is. That's another one that I have used, the lima bean. And look at this one. Isn't that gorgeous? I've used that one as well. That's the luau. Bright Hawaiian colors. So these are really beautiful yarns. And the reason I like to use these is because they're super soft. And they're really comparable to Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. They're just as soft as those. But this one has a whole lot more colors. And you can see they were $4.99 and now they're $3.74. That's 25% off. Okay? And you're going to get 3 ounces on your multi, which are those 6 that are the multicolors. And then your solid colors, you're going to get 3.5 ounces. You get a little bit more. Okay? There's 38 total colors, and they are 100% cotton yarns. Okay? So, and it's a medium weight number 4 cotton. One thing you will notice with the Cotton Sprout, it is a little bit of a more of a, not puffy, but it's a little bit thicker cotton than some of the other medium weight number 4 cottons. And let me show you with the strand. This is the actual ones that I used on here. And see how nice and soft that is, and how if you squeeze it, it's a little bit fluffier than some of the cottons that a lot of them, like Peaches and Cream and that we use to make washcloths. They're a little bit more splitty and a little bit more well, a little bit more rough, but they're made that way so that when you wash them they puff up a little. But this is just, it just is a really nice yarn, and I really do love it. I was going to show you a skein, but I've used all my skeins, so I need to order some more in because of so many different projects that I've used with all the ones that I had. Okay, and I specifically ordered these colors in for this blanket because I wanted it to resemble, you know, like the Coral Reef, because that's what this is called, and sort of like the ocean water. And I just really love how it turned out. It's super simple, super easy. And I have on the pattern on my blog all of the multiples and the measurements so that you can make it wider and longer. And yes, you can make washcloths with this and towels. Anything that you use cotton for, you can use this cotton for as well. It's just super soft, and it is 100% cotton. Okay. Now, I know what you're going to ask me. Can I make this out of acrylic, this blanket? Yes, you can. Just use a medium weight number 4 acrylic. Now, on the written pattern, I have all of the color changes written in. I did not do that on the video because you don't have to stripe it the way that I did. You can use an ombre and just make the whole thing. You can stripe it as you want to. Get in your yarn stash and use your acrylic or your cotton leftovers and make it just fine. As far as the cotton, this is just a really super soft cotton. And this cotton also is really good at making like shirts and blouses and wearables as well, because it has a really nice drape. Yes, they do, Denise. Premier Yarn has a really nice amount of cotton, really nice quality. I always say this, and it's not just because I'm a Premier affiliate. I have never ever been disappointed in anything I've ever ordered from Premier. I haven't. I've loved everything. The quality is excellent, you know, and the blanket is really, I can't remember. I think I made this one 30 wide by 42 long. But like I said, all the information is on the blog, the multiples and how to make it bigger. I mean, of course, if you're going to make it longer, just add more rows. But I also have the the multiples, so you can make it wider as well. Because you can see it's a really basic pattern. You know, it's super easy. It's super basic. Okay? So I think you'll really enjoy making this just because it's just so versatile. And one of the things I really love making is versatile patterns. I really do. I love to make things that give you the opportunity to use your own creative juices on it. As far as the amount of skeins I use, you'll have to look on the pattern. Okay? I do have the link for the video underneath this video, of course. And you also know that every video that I'm making, there is a written pattern, and the link for that written pattern is under every single video. And I try to keep them up at the top where you can find them. Okay? It does look Southwest, Terry. It has a Southwest look to it. Yeah, kind of the desert with the water. I agree. I just really was going for like an oceany, beachy sort of look. I'm one of those people that I like to keep a blanket in my car. That way, if I'm out with my grandkids and they get a little chilly, I can wrap them up in it. Or, of course, now they're taller than I am. I'm going to need a bigger blanket. So anyway, yeah, you can find all the pattern information on the link. Like I said, the link for the video for this is underneath this video. And then under every single video that I do for my crochet patterns, you'll find a written pattern with pictures and lots of information. And I try to give you as much information as possible. Because sometimes, you know, when you're doing a video, you try to give all the information. But sometimes it's just hard to get it all in. Or, I mean, let's get real. I'm only human. I might forget. So if you have all the information on the written pattern, you can always go and look at it. And even if you don't read patterns, you know, a lot of people, they just don't read patterns. It's okay. It's still good to go and look, because you can find information and notes like the chain 3 counts as the first double crochet, or don't count a chain 1 as a double crochet, things like that. Okay, so but that is what we did yesterday. And I have to tell you, it was like, I don't know, 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday before I finally got it out, because I was having so much trouble concentrating because my Rosie was at the vet. And so I was having so much trouble concentrating. So it was super cool that it was an easy pattern. Okay. Alrighty. Now I want to show you one other thing. And that is the completion of our Christmas in July crochet along. Okay. Now the original test, but I almost said bunny. Well, you could make it into a bunny. The original test one was Sherbert, because I made her out of some of my leftover yarns that were bulky number 6. She's so cute. It's actually a boy. We've decided that Sherbert is a boy. Okay. Sherbert needed a best friend, so I made him Butterscotch. We decided since she was Sherbert, Butterscotch was the good name. Isn't it adorable? I just love it. Okay, so I do want to talk to you a little bit about some things that you can to understand about this. And that is, this is the little guy that I used as a test. And his arms are a little bit shorter because I wanted them longer. And, but he's so cute. Okay, let me lay him out here because I want you to see. Okay, so here's Butterscotch, here's Sherbert, and here is this little guy. Now you'll notice the head is not as big because I didn't want to make the head as big, but the body and the legs are the same. Oops. Sorry, dude. I just slammed him into my counter. Okay. And, but people did have some questions. Can I make the body longer? You can. Just add more rows when you're making the body. And some people were like, well, it feels like it's too short. And so what you can do, because we make the head and the body in step 1. Okay. And then we put the eyes on because I need to go underneath. We stuff the head and then we cinch it up. And then we stuff the body. So if the body is not long enough, you can see by how big the head is if you want to make your body longer. It's okay if you want your body to be longer. Just add more rows. Okay? All right. Now, if you don't want the arms to be as long as I did mine, don't do as many rows. You can make them shorter like his. The same thing with the legs. If you want the legs to be longer, make more rows and the legs are long enough. Okay? All right, let me move this little guy. I think this is Gabe. I can't remember which one is Gabe. I think that one's Gabe. Okay, so now here's Butterscotch and here's Sherbert. Now, I did them the same, but I stuffed her more, so she's fatter. But squish her in. So, and that's another thing. You can stuff it however that you want to. If you want it to be more squishy, like Butterscotch, put less stuffing, okay? I like to have a lot of stuffing in the head just because I want it to, I want it to be nice and tight up in the head because we want them to be able to hold their head up. Okay, now, and so that's totally up to you. The other thing is your colors. I have loved looking at the Coffee and Crochet with Sara Facebook group. Go there and look at the other bears that have already been made. They are beautiful. I love them. I really, really do. I love the different yarn choices. Because the neat thing about it is you can use any super bulky yarn. I really recommend that you use the blanket, like Bernat blanket style yarns. Okay? It's really important because see how thick this yarn is? This is some leftover Bernat blanket yarn from another project. And if you've got a bunch of balls like this that are leftover yarn balls, make a bear and use all different colors. It's totally fine. Okay? Now, answer another question. I don't have time to do this bear right now. Will it be there later? Yes. I never ever take my patterns down. There is a playlist called Joy Bears Playlist. Okay? You can find the playlist and the pattern for the bears will already be there, and it will be there whenever you have time. Okay? Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to use this other bear because I'm going to put this on here. The question is, do the clothes that we're making for the Build-A-Bears fit these bears? Well, let me show you. Yes, this is our boy bear Butterscotch, but today he's modeling the dress. Okay? And I'm taking this time to answer these questions because these are all, whoops, I got caught on his nose. These are all questions that I have gotten. And you can see if your bear is a little girl and you want to put a dress on her, the clothes that we're making in the Joy Bear playlist will fit the bears that we just made. Okay? So it's, again, this is such a versatile, fun pattern. Because even if you decide to make the body shorter, the clothes will still fit. Even if you decide to make the arms shorter, the clothes will still fit. If you want to make the body longer, the clothes will still fit. And if you want the legs longer, the clothes will still fit. All right? And so I just wanted to answer all of those questions about our crochet along. Now, I know I've had lots of questions about, can I use a medium weight number 4 yarn? If you're going to use a medium weight number 4 yarns, you need to hold 3 strands together. And what I mean by that is medium weight number 4 yarn. Let me come back over here because I told someone this and they're like, I don't know how to do that. That means you're going to need to hold 3 strands like this to stitch up your bear. Okay? Now, that will not be as thick as this, but you will still be able to make a bear if you have a bunch of yarn in your yarn stash that you want to use. The bear will still work, okay? But it will not be exactly the same size. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter if it's the same size or not, okay? If it's off just a tiny bit. Okay, now, if you want to use a medium weight number 4 yarn and you only want to use 1 strand, you can use an H hook, follow the pattern, and you're going to get a bear that's about this size. Okay, I think it was 8 inches. Okay, and so you can still do it. You'll just get a tiny bear. Okay, so that's another question I just wanted to answer because I love the way the bear turned out. I love everything about the bear. I love the little nose, the snout. I love the ears. I just think it turned out really, really terrific. My phone just beeped that it's 11, so we're right at 30 minutes, but that's okay. I'm trying to do better at staying on time. But anyway, I want everybody to enjoy making these bears because the truth of the matter is they make excellent Christmas presents. And if you've got a bunch of yarn that you want to use up, make a bunch of these bears. And then when like the Christmas tree, you know, where you take a tag and you buy a gift for a child or any other donations, these are brand new, beautiful bears that you have made. You can add a bow to it and make it Christmassy. You've got leftover Christmas yarns, make them in Christmas yarns. And you've got something that you can give. And who doesn't love a Christmas bear, right? They make great birthday gifts and everything. And so that's something that you might want to consider. Even if you've got, like I've got a lot of leftover Burnette yarns from other projects. I could whip up some bears because these work really fast. They do. Because you're using thick yarn and it's super easy pattern. You could whip up a bunch of these really fast, set them aside, and then when the need arises, add a bow and you're ready to go. And you don't even have to add like a store-bought bow. Crochet a bow. Crochet a thick chain, tie it on. All right? So anyway, I just thought I'd offer that. Now remember, you don't have to just use the Burnette blanket yarn. Premier has velvet yarns, and they are coming out with a new yarn on a Wednesday. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, but be looking for a new yarn on a Wednesday afternoon. They like to, I'm sorry, not Wednesday, Friday afternoon. They like to release the new stuff over the weekend and have it, have it run. And usually it's around noon. So Friday at noon, a new fantastic yarn that just might work great for our bears. But it's a secret, okay? Don't tell anybody. It's an amazing yarn. I cannot wait to get some. Anyway, if you've got a lot of leftover Burnette yarn, Burnette blanket, the velvet yarns that are bulky number 6, any of your fuzzy yarns that are bulky number 6, they'll make beautiful, beautiful bears, okay? Oh, a rainbow bear. That'd be so cute. Yeah, you could use up your different colors and stripe it. You don't have to do solids, So just, have some fun with it. But one thing I really, really want you to do is, even if you do not like Facebook, and I understand that, we have a group, okay? Coffee and Crochet with Sara Facebook group. And in that group, you can post pictures of your bears. Even if you're just starting it, you want to post update pictures or step pictures. I love that. And everybody else does too. And the reason I find this so important is because we can encourage each other. You may have made a bear and you're like, I don't really like it. What do you guys think? And you'll get so much encouragement. You will. Because we love crochet and we love bears and stitching and it's just a really great encouraging group that we have. Just a wonderful group of people. And we do ask you to answer the 3 questions just to keep out the spammers and the robots. That was a terrible robot, wasn't it? Don't ever asked me to dance the robot. But anyway, I just really encourage you to go over to Facebook and join. It's Coffee and Crochet with Sara group. It used to have a different name years ago, and I changed it so that it was specifically about our YouTube channel and that group. There just really isn't any place else where you can post your pictures. People have tried to send them to me and they don't come through. I have a really, really tight security stuff on my emails. And I do. And I've had to do that because YouTube is a scary place to be sometimes as a YouTuber. Okay. And so I've had to be really careful in what I do. And so anyway, I want to see your progress, but you can also tag me on Instagram if you post on Instagram. But my handle is, I tried to change it and they wouldn't let me. I'd have to start a whole new Instagram. But my handle is, I think it's Sara Posh Pooch, because Posh Pooch Designs is my Facebook page, where Coffee and Crochet with Sara is my group. I know that's so confusing, but the group link is down underneath this video, down in there where I have all my links. The group page is in there. If you want to just go link that, hit that link, and then answer the 3 questions, and either I or Kim or Rita will let you in the group. Those are my 2 ladies that are vigilant about the group. They keep out the spammers. They like to not play jokes, but give jokes and fun memes and just have a really good time. They're super sweet. And if I don't answer a question, both of them are usually around from time to time to answer questions for you. Okay? All righty. I'm going to scan through here and see if there's any other question. Peggy said it was easy and fast. I'm so glad you think that. Okay. Oh, you just now came in, Beverly? Well, we're getting ready to finish, so go back and watch it from the beginning. Because remember, I don't delete my live videos. I leave them there so you can watch them. The bear is considered an easy, but not a beginner. And the only reason it's not considered a beginner, is because you have to sew the pieces on. You have to sew the arms and the legs on. But it really is basically a beginner pattern. I think anybody who's learning to crochet could make our bear. And that's kind of what I was looking for. That's why I didn't do a lot of details and shaping and all of that stuff. I wanted it to be a bear that anybody could crochet and love. And I'm just excited about it because I just want to see all your different colors that you chose and styles and all of that stuff. Okay, now, the last question about the bear. I forgot to answer this. Can it be made into a bunny or a kitty or a puppy? And yes, it can. I don't have ears for this particular pattern for the other ears, but you could go online and there's several on YouTube as well as Pinterest that do have ears that you could make in order to make it into a cat or a dog or whatever animal that you would want. You could do a mouse and just make them bigger, higher, you know. So you can do that. I don't have any problem with that at all if you want to make your animal a different animal than a bear. Okay? Because, you know, I love it when you use your creative juices. I really do. And I love to see all of the things that you do. All of the crochet things. That's why that group is so important to me. I think you'll really love it because it's a really great group. Okay. I'm going to let you go, but I don't want you to forget to go over to Crochet Cakes YouTube channel. The link is underneath this video. And let her know I sent you. And check out some of her videos. She's really sweet. You'll like her. All right? So on that note, I'm going to let you go, and I'll see you next time.